Cheers, everybody. I hope you can't all hear that. My dog is going nuts there in the background. So hopefully he won't be disturbing us too much. Got my husband here with me, joining me, and our friend Jay down the road. And we're going to be drinking some Irish Poitin tonight while the wolfhound does laps around the pool table. Hopefully he'll settle down after a bit. Christine Vasco. Hi, Christine. You were the first one in here tonight. Kathy from Nashville. Cheers, Kathy. Thank you for stopping in. Andrew Butler, one of my favorite Englishmen. Cheers, Andrew. Sugar Kitty, one of my favorite mods. Thank you for joining me today, Sugar Kitty. So today is kind of big in Ireland. Today is the first annual Poitin Now Festival to celebrate one of Ireland's 3 native spirits. And so I've poured these guys a flight of some of the Poitins that I have. So we're going to start with Mickle Irish Poitin. So Mickle is from their 6th generation Poitin distillers, and this is the 1st generation that is doing it legally. Mickle is from Galway, the Galway, County Galway, and near the Connemara region, which would have been a big area for illegal Poitin distilling. This one is one of my favorites. This one is really one that kind of brought Poitin into the forefront with the spirit coming back. Guess I know, Magner. So take a notice of this. I'm kind of drinking right along with you guys. Cheers, Z-Man. It's good to see you. I know we were in some of the same streams last night. Cheers, 5 fingers. So Poitin dates back to Ireland several hundred years, back to monasteries. And on Christmas Day, 1661, there was a tax put on spirits in Ireland. Merry Christmas. That kind of drove it underground. It returned in 1997 and actually was legalized. And the technical file was approved in 2015. Since then, it's been exploding. There, I think, what did I count today? I have 7 bottles of seven different bottles of Poitin. Yeah. And I've got more samples back here, and I've killed off a few of them. So this one is really sweet.
Sweet, and it's really clean.
This one is made from 100% malted barley, and they use Connemara bog bean. Cheers, Doug H. Thank you for stopping in. Cheers, Beyond the Row. We are drinking some Irish Poitin today. The thing I really like about Poitin as well is, I mean, there's no, if it's off, there's no hiding it with a cask finish. You can only put it rest it in a cask. Your label can't say anything about finishing, aging, maturation casks. I've got one from Cologne back here that literally has cask spelled C**SKS. So there's no hiding if it's off. It really is a showcase for the mash bill, for the ingredients you're using. Now, he has had Poitin before. Obviously, I saw several of you had it before.
No, I haven't.
Never?
No.
No. Sláinte, the Mickle. Really nice. I got some anise on that.
Mm-hmm. Great taste.
Caramel.
Yep.
Candy. Little herbal notes from that bog bean.
It's got a really good flavor to it
yeah. And very, very creamy. One of the things that stands out to me that I kind of find interesting about Poitin is I do get a real creamy mouthfeel from it on several of them.
Yeah, Mickle's one of my favorites. I've had a couple.
Cheers, 60 Hertz. Thank you for joining us today. There's my other favorite Englishman in chat, James Morgan. How are you doing today? And our friend from a little further north of me just ordered a couple of Mickle Madeira Island single pot still. I had not seen that one. I've seen the others that they have. Mickle now has spirit that's old enough to age to call whiskey. So they just released their first two. Jeff can correct me if I'm wrong here. I think it was last year that they released their first two bottles of actual whiskey. Cheers, Mike Meyer. Thank you for joining me today. Never seen it so clear in the glass. Well, you can only put it, Poitin can only be aged in a cask, but not even aged, rested in a cask for 10 weeks. This has not been in a cask. And I do have some back here that have.
Now,
Start of the World Cup.
Before I was ever introduced to Poitin, I thought it was like moonshine, and
it kind of is, but kind of isn't. And a lot of people call it, it's Irish moonshine. Well, more accurately, moonshine is American Poitin. Poitin's got a few hundred years on moonshine.
right.
So, but they are very similar. They have similar pasts. They have similar histories. They're similar in that, and that they're starting to come out and be focused as a spirit themselves, not just an illegal spirit. I really hope that moonshine does. And somebody can remind me. To my knowledge, it doesn't have a technical file approved, and I hope that does happen for moonshine, because it's really creating a whole spirit category in Ireland to where there's a lot of cocktails. Poitin, it's great for cocktails. Belfast coffee is probably one of the most infamous cocktails that's made with Poitin, and it's really, really good. It's like a cold brew coffee, and instead of using the Irish whiskey, you're using Poitin in there, and it's really tasty.
I mean, this is nowhere near as. I mean, I know that some over in Ireland are as strong as moonshine, but this is clearly.
I do have one that is 67.5% alcohol, but I would bet that there are moonshine bottles being sold that aren't high proof.
Oh yeah. There's moonshine being sold, like the
Great Smoky Mountain.
Great Smoky
Mountain.
Mountain.
Whatever that one's
you can
called.
get stuff with pineapples and cherries and different kinds of stuff in it.
Speaking of, 60 Hertz is actually making his own Poitin.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
New Zealand grown barley and oats, so I'm calling it Poitins. That is awesome. I'm excited to hear how that turns out. All right, so we're going to move on to the second one. Which is actually, now the first one is not available in the US. That one you're going to have to order from an online Irish retailer. You're going to have to order from like Irish Malts or James Fox or Celtic Whiskey Shop, one of those retailers. This one actually is in the US, and I don't even know if it's in Ireland. This one is called Smugglin' Nun. Now, the brand is Smugglin' Nun. This is marketed in the US. However, this is actually distilled and bottled for Smugglin' Nun by Copeland Distillery in County Down, Ireland.
I actually won that bottle.
You did win this bottle for me.
And a lot of
It's the inaugural bottle. You won this, you and a friend of ours, in a bottle lottery, and he gave her a rather large tip when she was bartending, and she told him she couldn't accept it, and he said, just buy lotto tickets with it, and if you win, we'll split it. Well, they won. So
I think it was $800 worth of.
I don't remember, but I remember it was like $18
It
bottles.
was a very big basket of.
It was like 18 bottles, I think, of whiskey, and that Poitin was in there.
We got like 15 bottles total.
Hey, Richie Z. Cheers to you. I think I'm missing a couple people because of Paul Whiskey Food Dude is in here too. There he is. There's Paul. Cheers, Paul. We got to meet Paul down when we went down to Lexington, Kentucky. Do you mean a technical file for the Poitin or equivalent? Jeff, I know that Poitin does have a technical file. They have an approved technical file. I was curious if moonshine has a U.S. equivalent of a technical file. I don't think that they have one approved. I would be skeptical, considering there's not one for American single pot still whiskey, and I don't think there's one for single malt. So
What I do know is that Amazon sells the 1 gallon stills. Okay, so it's got to be legal for personal to make your own.
Well, yeah,
personal
it's
moonshine.
personal, but I mean, you can still make it. It just does. It doesn't have a set of regulations
I don't think so.
reining it in to say it has to fit these guidelines. Is the problem? That's the thing I was curious about. Cheers, Chris Tats. Oh no. Oh, I hope you're okay. That sounds awful.
Oh, especially if you're right-handed.
Oh man. I hope you recover quickly. That sounds awful. One of my favorite Canadians, Alex. It's good to see you, Moose. Thank you for joining us today. We are drinking some poitin. So our second one is this Smuggling Nun from Copeland. This smells much more caramely on the nose. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did look up the mash bill in this. This one is malted barley, beet, and molasses. So that molasses is definitely what I'm getting. It's the more caramely note on this.
Yeah, when you dumb it down, it's going to come out as like a caramel.
Yeah, and molasses and beet are 2 ingredients that are approved in the Irish technical file for
the sugar.
Yeah, for the sugar. And that's what I was saying. It's nice that they have a technical file because they do have regulations around it now. They have requirements of things that it should be made of, it shouldn't be made of.
Beats, bears.
Beats, bears, Battlestar Galactica. You mess it up every time.
And quotes from The Office.
Mess it up every time. Cheers, then, dude. Oh, Redbreast 27. You are going hard in the paint. That is such a good whiskey.
Yeah, that is really, really good.
And I apologize, guys. The bulldog is right here under
Panting.
me, so it's panting. So I'm sure it's kind of loud. So what do you think? This one on the nose comes off sweeter?
Yes, very sweeter.
Yeah, it's quite a bit sweeter.
Yeah.
This one is a little bit higher proof. It is 45. Yeah, 45. The other one, the first one I started you with was 44. So this is 1 proof point higher, or 1 ABV higher would be 2 proof points. Much, much sweeter.
Yes.
I'm not liking this one as much.
Well, the sweetness and the aftertaste that you get.
I think the beets are a little funky. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mix very well, but the front of it really tastes really good, and then the back end kind of tastes like the Mickle. But it doesn't really flow together properly.
No, I think it's the beet that's throwing it off. It's got a little funkiness to it. And I set the bar pretty high right out of the gate going Mickle. Mickle is synonymous with Irish Poitin. Podrick from Mickle was at the festival today. Was he and it was Dave from Bon Poitin and Brendan Carty from Cologne. Cheers, Adam. So one of my mods will drop the link to Livewire Whiskey. They're going to be going on tonight at 9 p.m. So you can check out Adam and Mike's stall. Doggo pant like crazy. I could solve that problem. Yeah, he's decided that they're going to hang out right around us tonight.
Yeah, both.
They sleep the whole flipping day until I go on stream, and then they're all of a sudden really awake. Penelope toasted is so good. That's so good. So yeah, I'm not liking this one as much. It's malty. It's definitely sweet. You get the molasses on there. It's a lot more caramel.
If I take them off.
Yeah, you can.
I'll be right back.
Oh, go, guys. I know, trying to turn around a wolfhound in this little corner. But yeah, there's something funky, and I'm assuming it's the beets because I don't
taste
like
at the end.
Yeah,
It is.
You think it's beets?
Yeah.
You think it's the beet? I don't think it's the molasses.
It's good right off the top, but at the end.
And this one, I think if we'd started with this, it'd been fine. But the fact that we started with the Mickle, which is a better poitin,
Right.
in my opinion.
I agree.
So, thank you, Sugar Kitty, for dropping in the link. Check out Livewire Whiskey. They're going live at 9 p.m. tonight, Eastern time. And another friend of mine, Jason Norris. Thank you, Jason. It's good to see you. I saw you were drinking some good whiskey this weekend. So when Devin gets back, we will move on to number 3. But what do you think so far of Irish Poitin? Because you've never had this before. I'm sure you've had moonshine.
No, it's a different taste, but I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
Now I'm sure you've had the stuff in the moonshine in a mason jar.
Yes.
Have you had any of the legal, that's distilled? Because it's been made by a distillery.
Yes.
Moonshine. You've had that as well?
Yes.
Okay. Is this kind of similar or does it taste totally different?
This has got a little bit different taste than it.
Which would make sense. The mash bill is different.
Right.
None of these have corn in them.
Right.
Did you give him a squeaky toy?
No, I did not. He went and got it himself. Let's do this next one, and I will try to see if I can get them out of here for just a minute. All right.
Chill your roll, Magner. Okay.
And then you got Oliver.
No, the panter. I swear it's not the X-rated bots tonight. It's just the panting of the bulldog. That was last week.
Well, this doesn't have really much of a smell to it.
The last one? This one doesn't because, and I think one reason is it's oats. There's oats in here as
Okay,
well.
that's what I get. Oats is a very mild smell. So
Yeah. It adds a nice
breathe it in.
creaminess. This one is very, very special. This one, to my knowledge, is still available online. This is called a dough. So this is the first ever Irish spirit of any kind that has been distilled by a Northern Ireland distillery and an Irish Republic of Ireland distillery. These guys got together. This was Culloden and Blackwater, and they got together and both donated a portion of ingredients. Both of them distilled it, and both of them have released these bottles. This is the Northern Ireland Culloden one, and the ones from Blackwater are in the reverse, so they have a blue label and an orange top to them. Cheers, Donald Rance. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Excuse all the squeaky toy and dog panting. Oh, thank you, Christine. We got atmosphere galore today. I just hit the like button so hard, there was almost a second pot still. Thank you, Mike. So this one is going to be a little different. This has got some peated element to it. So this is Knockshee oats and Waterford Heritage barley. The Waterford Heritage barley was the portion that was donated by, well, not donated, but provided by Blackwater. So they provided locally sourced 50% malted barley, 30% Old Irish barley, 15% oats, and then Culloden grown locally malted 5% peated malt. So this is 500% peated. This is 472 bottles. I have bottle 47. This is still available, to my knowledge, online. Check Irish Malts or Umbrella Project UK is where I got this one. And this one is a little higher ABV at 48%. So we're still staying within a normal range, but just a little bit higher. The Glendalougher Teeling, I have not had either of those. The only other one that I've tried that I don't have is the Bon Poitin from Ecklenville. But I do have several of the other Culloden behind me. There at the moment. Yeah, trying to corral a dog the size of a pony. It's all right, Evan. Don't worry about it. you'll have. He kind of goes where he wants, and that just is what it is. So this one on the nose, I'm going to wait for Devin to get back here, but you're going to smell the peat on this. Oh, the Glendalough. Donald, do you mean the mountain poitin? The mountain, it's like a mountain strength, I think they had. I'm going to have to grab one of those, if that's the one you're talking about. I've had a lot of their whiskey. I just have not had a chance to try their poitin. I'm still nosing. You guys are already into tasting.
This one has taste at the end.
Well, yeah, that peat definitely
Yes.
lingers just a little bit on this one.
Yeah, but it flows a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
this one was made by
not sweet, not at all.
Yeah,
but it flows.
Not nearly as sweet.
No.
Not even close to being as sweet as the others.
But the front end complements the tail end of it.
And this was done, and this is why what I said I love that poitin, because you can't hide anything.
No, you can't.
That last one, I mean, the beats, you could tell it was off, and you could definitely tell. This one really showcases the quality of ingredients and actually the quality and attention to detail from both of these distilleries. Blackwater and Culloden, all their stuff is just gold, and there's a reason. They know what the flip they're doing. Okay, yeah, the mountain strength. Okay, yeah, I'll look for that one. Jeff says Glendalough has 3 or 4 of them. Jeff would definitely know. I don't think there's a whiskey that Jeff doesn't have. A few of the others, including one from WC called Glory. Do you mean, I don't, WC? I don't know what that is.
Have to look that one up.
They had a regular one. I did see the rosé one, a mountain strength, and I think one more. I think you're right. That I've seen the rosé and the mountain strength, and I figured the Donald meant the mountain strength one. But I know a couple places that have that. I'm gonna have to grab that one. So, what do you think of the addition of the peat malt to these? Because this is the first one I've given you.
I think it works well together. It's not too the peat's not too heavy.
No, and I tried to pick 3 that weren't finished. So that would have been pretty similar. They're all similar in ABV. One was 44, one was 45. This one's 46. You want to bust out the good poitin?
I was looking at I was eyeballing the Culloden behind it.
All right, we'll finish this. I'll bust out the good poitin. I actually sent samples of Bobby Bourbon Battalion and Zach. I was on their stream last week. Sent them some of it, and I literally told him, I'm like, if everybody drank this, there would be world peace. It is just that good. All right, I'll let you have some of that. I'm gonna dump mine here. Rinse my glass, and I'll give you some of the really well. It actually is a good example to show what happens when they do rest them in a cask, because they can rest it in any sort of cask for 10 weeks. And actually, Ecklenville Bon Poitin, they did a buried one, and they actually buried the cask in the ground for the time it was finishing there. Unfortunately, that one sold out before I could get one.
I think this would be good in a cocktail, but not like a fruity or something cocktail, but more like a.
It's good in coffee. They're starting to design cocktails around them.
Yeah, kind of like I wouldn't say gin and tonic, but like maybe a lime or something like that. I
would substitute this for vodka.
Yeah, well, yeah, but there's a lot of fruity drinks that come with vodka,
Yeah.
But like.
I mean, you couldn't put it in everything.
No, not at all. But I think you would have to get creative with it, and then you would have to mix it with,
But you could, I think this would be martinis. This would be brilliant in a martini.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different cocktail uses you could use poitin for, and that is what they're kind of embracing with it. And one of the reasons it's taken off is because it is it's good for neat pours, it's good for cocktails, and it's really versatile. There's a lot of room for variety there. Hey, Shane, I did not see an email to you. I sent you an Instagram message. So check your Instagram or Try to email me again. It's 4leafwhiskey4@gmail.com. Didn't they make this stuff in Harry Potter? You'd have to ask this one. I watched one Harry Potter and that was it. 60 hertz.
Was there any alcohol in Harry Potter?
Yeah. Traditionally, the grains would have been dried with a 100% peat fire. That is very true in the hidden mountainside kiln, at least 10 hours. And so traditionally, Poitin would have been very heavily peated. That is 100% true. They also, they timed that so that they were distilling on windy days so that nobody could see the smoke and the tax man couldn't bust them. Donna says, thank God Glendalough is now owned by a Canadian, so we have good access to their stuff. You got no argument here, Donald, because you are in like the black hole of Canada up there in Ontario. Hi, Magner. They made potions. Ben loves
Potions,
to Ben loves to irritate me with that because he also calls it poutine. Oh, all right, go, out. You have hot breath. All right, I'm gonna reach over here. I try not to fall off the stool midstream. All right, so I'm gonna bust out the good stuff for you guys. So,
oh, is that it?
This is it. So this is Killowen stone soup.
Oh, I have not had that one.
No, you have not had it. I haven't let you have any yet. So this one, they only did. Story of my life. They did 252 bottles of this. They crashed the website, the Irish website that had it. Luckily, a friend and I, mostly her, remembered that they were also selling it on the UK website. We bounced over there and quickly snagged up 2 bottles, and we were the only 2 in our core group of a dozen friends that got any, because hardly you don't see these at auction sites. If you do see a stone soup at an auction site, it's probably going to go for at least triple the price of what it originally was. These sold out within, I think, 10 minutes, and it was ridiculously fast. Cheers, Mr. Lopez.
You've been hiding that from me?
We are drinking Poitin. No, I didn't. I just got this from Lisa in New York.
Oh, okay.
So it just came. Our good buddy Jeff just did a drop off for me the other day. So
sometimes I find things under her pillow, like it was a tooth fairy.
No, they do know we have whiskey in the bathroom though.
Yeah, we do. We have whiskey. Yeah, and a shower. So you know.
So this one on the back is really cool. You can't see. You can see where it says. See. Can't put cask on there, so it's C***. That's good. This is a turf smoke grain. This one was finished 10 weeks in rested. Can't say finished, rested in PX cherry cask. This one is really cool because the back of the label, they do traditional measuring, which is measuring by the sack. So this is 7 bags of turfed malted barley, 3 bags of unmalted barley, 2 bags of turfed malted oats, 1 bag of malted wheat, and 1 bag of malted rye.
Can you show the back of that?
I can try. Oh, I don't know if it'll adjust. Oh, darn camera. I don't know if it'll adjust on there. Let's try this one more time. You can kind of see the little bags.
Yeah.
And if you Google it, you can see it. Also, this is obviously the name is based on the old European fable of stone soup, and rumor has it that Brendan Carty from Killowen actually did chuck a limestone rock in the PX cask while this was finishing. So but you definitely can see it doesn't take long for Poitin to start getting some of that color from the cask.
I'm going to start with his. I'm gonna.
You rinse yours? You want to rinse yours?
Already did.
You already did.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw him do it.
Thank you.
Rinsed mine. Now this one, the peat is going to come through a lot more. This one, let me give you a little more of that. This one, the ABV is also higher. This is 55%. Oh, let's just not do that. Well, fudge crackers. All right, yeah. Hold on. Like I said, if I fall, grab me. All right. We're good. Yeah. Looking through my list, Glendalough also had a sherry finished Poitin. The U.S. also had Mad March Hare. I have seen Mad March Hare, and it isn't one I have grabbed. I have been curious about the Glendalough, though. And Glendalough in the mountains just seems more synonymous with Poitin. They're, for those of you who don't know, they're located down in the Wicklow Mountains. Poitin was basically Irish moonshine. Am I right? Well, Mr. Lopez, you are right. Essentially, it's the same, although it predates moonshine by a couple hundred years at least. Well, more than a couple hundred, probably like 400 or 500 years. But essentially, it's the same. It has the same history. It just has a different mash bill to it. And Jeff coming back with moonshine is the U.S. equivalent of Irish Poitin. Can I pay to visit and have a tasting with puppy playtime? Christine, you are welcome anytime. So, yeah. Christine is just up in Cleveland.
When you have company over, it's hard to keep them away from company.
They're so attention starved, obviously. Yeah.
She's looking at you.
Talking about you.
I'm talking right about you, Magner.
Yep.
Talking right about you. Such a boy. All right.
How was your beer?
I can't even deny it. 'Cause, I mean, we do have Guinness now. That's the only kind I would ever let him happen upon. You swear. Give me that. I'll give you a little more.
No, that's good.
All
I'm
right,
just messing with you.
You did.
Cheers to
Cheers.
Sláinte.
Sláinte.
This is why I don't have you on often.
Yeah.
They
saw
mess
me.
I know you messes with me all the time. Oh, Jeff,
yes.
Jeff can attest. Jeff has had Magner in his lap.
175-pound lap dog.
Yeah. He has no idea how big he is. Yeah, Mr. Lopez, he is an Irish wolfhound. He's all kind of big. I'd be there in 2.5 hours. Yeah, you can really. Well, I have extra guest rooms. I'm just saying. So this one, you get the peat more. Let's see. Richie says, I may have asked you, but before, is Jack Ryan a legit Irish whiskey? I've seen their bottle and was curious. I don't. To be perfectly honest, Richie Z, I don't know that I've had a Jack Ryan.
Aren't they related to the Ryan Irish cream?
No, that's a different brand. I think. God, I was wanting to say Jack Ryan was Ecklenville Matt Darcy, but I don't think that's right. That's one of the brands that I've never heard anything about them. Donald's in here and Jeff Adams. Both of you guys might have a little more intel on Jack Ryan. It's just not a brand that jumped out at me to get. Irish Wolfhounds are awesome. Magner after the cider. Yes, sir. County tip all the way. He is after the cider. Jeff has 5 or 6 of Jack Ryan's. So Jeff, if you've opened one, tell us, what your thoughts on it was. So this is the Poitin that I said. I swear this one could, there would be a world peace if everybody drank this. It is that freaking good. It's just a shame that you can't get it anymore, unfortunately. And it just sold out within instantly. You don't see these on auction sites. If you do, you're going to pay through the nose for it because people don't give them up. I know mine was open the second it hit the door. Jack Ryan Beggar's Bush 12-year was pretty good. Still haven't tried a pour of Poitin. Then we're going to have to resolve that. I'll talk to you after the stream. We're going to have to fix that. And Ben, let me know actually if you have tried that sample I sent you of the Causeway, the vermouth cask. And I'm curious if you've tried that one. It's definitely different. Definitely different.
So the smell of this, the smell between the flavor and the poitin is it smells like it's mixed. It should flow. You know what I mean? From
This one has a complexity that the other two did not have. This one also, the longer the air gets to it, it's going to keep going and going and going, and it's going to keep evolving. The flavor is going to keep, it's just layers and layers. And you drink this right when you first pour it, come back to it in like 20 minutes, drink it again, totally different.
what's the proof on this?
This one's a little proofier. This one's 55%.
By my reaction, you could tell that was a little proofier. I was like, hello.
And yeah,
the taste stays with you.
Yeah,
The taste does.
yeah,
Taste stays with you.
Yeah,
It's really
the
good.
finish is very long on this,
Really?
as opposed to the other three. The other
It is.
three, yeah, are not rested in anything. So that's just a straight spirit
my
that you're
favorite.
getting. This is
yeah.
This is one of my favorites. I would pick this over a lot of whiskey I drink back here. It's that good. If you ever see this one at auction, if you pick it up, you're probably not going to regret it. It's just not going to be cheap for you. I mean, it wasn't cheap right out of the gate. It was worth every penny. It was worth the headache to get it. They are a blender bonder. I still have 3 opened and seem very heavy oated. Oh, okay. So they're blends. If they've got that much oats, then they must be blends. What is Magner snack on? Dinosaur bones. Ironically enough, you're not that far off. We get him bones from the butcher shop because anything else, he annihilates it and breaks apart. He's too big. As someone who's not had poitin, Christine will have to do that. Between that and Irish whiskey. Well, poitin you're allowed to have beets in it. You're allowed to have molasses. So you don't find that in Irish whiskey. But the big one is that it cannot be finished. You can't, on the label, you won't have finished, matured, aged. There can't be anything in regards to aging there. Like I said, the bottle I just poured for these guys, it has cask on it, but it has C** SKS. Because you can't really reference any finishing on it. You're allowed to rest it in a cask for up to 10 weeks. So that's the big, huge difference, obviously. Irish whiskey has to be aged a minimum of 3 years in a wood cask of some sort, whether it's ex-bourbon, ex-port, ex-sherry.
Is it safe to say that poitin is unflavored whiskey?
Well, aside from the flavor that it's picking up from the mash bill, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the flavor you're getting out of
Is what it's made out of.
Out of poitin that has not been rested is coming from the ingredients themselves and the quality of said ingredients. And that's, like I said, that's one of the reasons I love it. There's a lot you can't hide with finishing. You could take might have been a crap whiskey. Well, finish the heck out of it in some nice casks in 8 years and say it's great. But there's no hiding it when you can't put it in a cask any longer than 10 weeks. So Jeff says, looking at my list, I have 8 different Jack Ryan expressions. There's probably more. Yeah, Jeff, that would be my guess, is you probably have more.
Jeff's sacred book.
Jeff is one of our friends that honestly, Jeff has darn near every bottle. If there's a question about a bottle, I know Jeff can answer it. Just like if there's a question about, Irish whiskey history itself, I know Donald is huge resource. I mean, Donald is also, I consider him an Irish whiskey historian.
Yeah.
I'm just an enthusiast.
Jeff's got the Sears catalog of whiskeys. We all remember the big Sears catalog that we'd go and we'd flip through to try to find our Christmas presents every year. Yeah,
I feel like it's like, do you remember that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark at the end where they go in and they go into the warehouse and everything's cataloged and there's just towers and towers of stuff and they are wheeling it. That's what I figure like Jeff's house is like. Like you're going in and here he's just cataloging it and there's rows and rows and rows. Jeff says, I meant there are probably other releases out there, but I don't have them. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. So you guys both like the Stone Soup.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. This was very good.
I could not imagine an all night drinking this for a long period of time. This is probably maybe like a 1 or 2.
Oh, I could drink this all night.
Well, yeah, I know, but it would be a bad something. Something bad would happen after you drink a lot of this.
Guys, yeah. Yeah, Ben, you're right. So the one thing about this too, I think, would you see this with a cigar?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I was talking with Bourbon Battalion Bobby and Zach, they were pairing this and a couple others with cigars, and they actually had some suggestions as for cigars that would go, that they think this would pair really well with that. And it said you'd have to have a pretty dark, good cigar. What you smoke cigars? Can you think one off the top of your head that would go well with that?
A dark Drew Estates, something that's reasonably priced but still great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you need reasonably priced because, frankly, this ain't going to be cheap if you go for this.
Right, that isn't.
Yeah.
The cigar would be
so you're not going to have much money left after picking a bottle of that up.
Yep.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites.
Maybe the Pappy Van Winkle cigars you got. That was
the Pappy Van Winkle cigars.
Yeah.
They were full flavor.
Yeah. I bet you there's some dark Alec Bradleys.
Oh yes, there is.
You could pair well with that.
Yep.
Which I know we're gonna have to get you some more because you're a big fan of the Shamrock ones. And it's almost green season, 1 month away to green season.
Who makes those?
Alec Bradley.
Alec Bradley, yeah.
Those are Alec Bradley cigars.
I believe Jen got us some the last time.
Yes, your wife did hooked us up. I'm gonna have to do that next time. Return the favor. Does the peat seem to show through on poaching that's in whiskey since there is no or little cask influence? Jeff, it actually really does. This one, but it also, it does, but...
Do you think it's as strong as it is on whiskey, though?
It is not.
I
don't think it comes through as much. I think it just finishes it and kind of rounds it out.
Yeah.
The big one that I would have to have you reach back there for me and get... It's behind there. Actually, I'm gonna pour you guys another one. That's a really good one. I can't reach the other one that I was talking about, but
is it right behind?
Yeah, Jay, can you reach that? It's right behind the Stone Soup. It's called Vulcan. Thank you. I'm not gonna load Jeff on this one, but this one is a perfect example of how the peat comes through not nearly as much. So this one is 100% peated ingredients. This is 50% peated oats, 50% peated barley. Until you start adding water to this, the peat does not come through that much. Now, it's 67.5% alcohol. Supposedly, this is a recipe that predates poaching. This was traditionally served at wakes and funerals, which is the name Dead and Buried. Mm-hmm. I know Brendan Carty worked on this one with Irish whiskey historian Finan O'Connor, who wrote A Glass Apart and who is pretty much the authority on Irish single pastel whiskey. This one, like I said, this one they have a regular one. I have the one that is Pinot Noir rested. Does not come through. You would think 100% peated ingredients. It would just be blazing peat. It's not at all until you add the water. And then that earthy peat comes through big time.
Well, I kind of, the way that I would look at it is there's not really much for that smoke to attach itself to where it's overbearing on any of it.
Yeah, wake the dead. It said wake the dead. Like, bring out your dead. Pretty much. Is there an inexpensive poaching that is worth picking up? Ben, yeah, I believe the Glendalough poaching is available in the U.S. That Smugglin' Nun that we had in our flight, that is a U.S. product. So, in fact, I think that is in New York. I'm pretty sure a friend of mine, I'll have to check with her. I'm pretty sure she found it in New York, though. you're not going to see a huge amount of it. A couple states have the Cologne, their standard Poitin. I can tell you it is in Kentucky. I checked the list like last week and it's still there. I think they have it out in California, a couple other places. So that one is still available. There aren't a huge amount though. It's still one that's tough to find. Hey, now there's my favorite degen from upcountry, hanging easy. How are you now? Good, and you?
Hanging easy.
I ended up getting the pair of Vulcan from James Fox Dublin, but I haven't opened either of them yet. Jeff, I would open those. They're really good. If I ever get another one, I know Carry Out Killarney still has some, but I did not get both. I only got the Pinot Noir, and it's a little bit lighter. So this was just a Pinot Noir cast. You can definitely tell that sherry has a big influence because that other one was darker. But I'm not going to pour that one for you guys because that's a blow your doors off 67.5% alcohol.
That was the one you were going to pour.
No, I am pouring another special one. I guess I'll like you.
I never get the special ones.
So this one was, for those of you who don't know, Cologne has pretty massive following. They refer to themselves, we refer to ourselves as the Cologne cult. Hey, cheers, Dunny. It's good to see you. And Brandon Carty and Cologne did this release for the Cologne cult at Whiskey Live. I was fortunate to have a friend at Whiskey Live. So when there were bottles left, Brandon said, yeah, you can go ahead and get those you can take those back. So they did a release last year called the Couche, which was like, I think 5 different Poitins that were finished in beer casks from different breweries all over the island of Ireland. This one, they took several of those, blended them together, and this is called La Chelle. And this was released at Whiskey Live. And the funny thing is, I don't think you can see it on there, but it is called Spirit Drink. Because there is no designation in the technical file for taking a few different Poitins that were finished in beer casks and combining them into a blend. That doesn't qualify as anything. So they have to call it Irish Spirit Drink. So let me pour you a little bit of this one. This one is pretty nice. Let me get that piece of the wax off there.
Thank you.
This one also is light, but you can see the beer finish on here. This one is 55.46% alcohol. I got bottle 138 of 140. These were only 250 milliliters. You might see occasional one at auction. You're probably not going to.
What does that smell?
Beer.
Is that beer?
That is beer. They were rested in different beer casks. Spirit Drink, probably the best Irish description. Yeah. They're not the only ones that do that. Why didn't the zombies right after 10 years? The other one that is known as a Spirit Drink is actually from Clare Island. It is a whiskey. They sourced it from Connacht. They took it to Clare Island. They put it on a little old fishing boat in the cask. Took it about, I think it was like either 4 miles or 14 miles off the coast of Clare Island in Ireland. Anchored down and left it there. Because that was not aged in a bonded whiskey warehouse on the island of Ireland, they will not let them call it Irish whiskey, even though it clearly is. So that one is also called Spirit Drink. So what do you think of this one?
This one is really good. Really good. The smell all the way down.
I like this. Now there's not.
Oh, he said all the way down.
All the way down.
All the way down.
There's no peat on this one. This
All
one
the way.
is not peated.
This is great. Taste is good. The taste, you taste it at the end a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
But good.
Yeah.
You like that one?
Yeah.
I like that one. I wish, I was fortunate. I had a friend give me samples of the Couche that I have over here, the individual bottles. I and they were very different. I really like this one. This has been one of my favorite releases they've had. Again, I wish they could make another one. I really liked, yeah, I thought the beer just added added some depth to it. It's just amazing. You would not expect just 10 weeks would change something that much. And it really does. It really makes a big impact on this Poitin. I need the pug to the green belt. Oh, I didn't know you had a pug. So you have a noisy little dog too. Yeah, there's a bulldog behind me snorting all over the place. So Sugar Kitty says a small amount of spirit drink and you talk with the spirit guides. But yeah, I'm gonna probably argue that, especially if you get into this Balkan. Yeah, this stuff is pretty hardcore. I mean, this is, yeah, they considered this medication. So this is bridging the historical gap between medicine and liquor, between hospitality and consolation, between toasting health and mourning. Balkan was Poitin before Poitin was legal. It is the empathetic spirit of Ireland's dark past, a sacred mash bill used in days gone by to honor the dead and drink to the memory, inspired by Finan O'Connor and his ongoing passion for Irish spirits, past, present, and future.
That sounds like a potion to me.
It does sound like a potion. Sounds like something should be in Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
It's too bad Harry Potter didn't grab that one. The Finan is a wealth of information. If you have a chance to read A Glass Apart, it's great. He's on several podcasts, and that man knows his stuff. So for a starter, any would you would point to? So James, you're in a position where you can get several of these. I would start honestly with the Mickle or the Cologne Poitin. So that one, again, Irish Malts has this. I think they deliver to the UK. I know that Umbrella Project UK, they have the Cologne Poitin. I would get one of those two to start off with. Those are a good. Neither of them are rested in anything. They don't have any other influence, but they're both really good as a starter Poitin. And it's
really good.
The flavor is really there.
It's a good starting base of what it should actually taste like.
Yeah.
So it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I had a whiskey tasting event here in Columbus, about a little over a month ago.
Yeah, about a month ago, and it was the first bottle to be.
Yeah, that one. A lot of people
completely empty.
A lot of people really like that one. I had that one as one of my spirits. I had the Mickle, and I really enjoyed it. I think everybody really liked it. Mickle has two releases too. Yes, you are correct. They also have a Heritage Poitin that is a peated finish. So that is it's using peated malted barley because they're both are 100%. Yes, the Heritage Edition. They're using, again, both of them are 100% malted barley. They're using Connemara bog bean, and that one I've got to get that one. A friend of mine has it, and I didn't pick that one up yet. I've got to get that one. Hey, cheers, James. So James is a friend in the UK. He is in, I believe, London, right, James? So I really like the beer finishes. If you get a chance to try Poitin, I definitely would. It's something I recommend. I've gotten into it through a friend, and I never thought I would own so much Poitin in my life. And I've got seven or eight bottles of it. It's different, but it's unique, and they're creating so many different cocktails with it. I would have a bottle, honestly, just to make Belfast coffee, because that is the perfect summer drink when it's too hot for coffee. Make a nice Belfast coffee. Irish is an odd bridge between Scotch and bourbon. I've always loved it. Yeah, I agree. I had an easier time. I started into Irish whiskey. Bourbon was actually Scotch was easier for me to get into. Bourbon was a little bit of a struggle, But thanks to all you guys, I know what bourbon I should be buying now, and I've got several bottles of bourbon over here.
So just a little information here. Jay is our bourbon drinker. I am the Scotch drinker, and then Stacy is the Irish drinker. So we all have our. You get three different opinions on the Poitin. So
3 different spirit opinions. That's one of the reasons I wanted these guys. Is you're getting, obviously I already like it, so my opinion is biased as all heck, but these 2 will give you definitely unbiased opinions. And Jeff, you are right. Lisa made me do it. Lisa is our friend in New York, and is totally the reason I have so much Poitin here today, because she's the reason I was able to get a bottle of the Stone Soup. So we're closing in on an hour here, and I wanted to only keep it at an hour because I believe Kilco Whiskey Musings is going live at 7. He is raising money for a really, really great cause. And cheers to you, Kilco, and your family. I hope everything goes as well as it can. I hope you raise so much money for this cause. And then at 8 o'clock it's bourbon night. 9 o'clock again, Livewire Whiskey. So going live with the Chug Life with Adam and Mike. And at midnight, Anthony at Bourbon Neophyte is going live tonight. So make sure you follow all these guys. All these channels are a big reason that I got involved and I'm doing this. And they're all great, great people, as all you in chat are. And I really appreciate you joining me tonight. Thank you so much, Sugar Kitty, for the links to Kilco stream. Everybody go, tell him I sent you, wish him the best, and give. If I realize it's coming in the Christmas season. If you're in a position to give, definitely give. If you're not, give him your well wishes. That even goes a really long way.
Thanks for Jay.
Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for sucking.
Thank you.
Getting sucked into our wacky little world.
Wow, thank you for having me.
So I'm going to have you on again sometime to drink some bourbon, because I know that's your jam.
Great.
That's not my jam, but that's your jam. And we'll have to do this again on a Scotch night, because I know that's your jam.
Yes,
you're the Scotch guy.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
So thank you all for joining. And as James said, yes, the Shebeen, Barry Chandler and the Shebeen will also be coming up at 7 o'clock. So also head over there. Thank you, Sugar Kitty, there is Bourbon Neophyte stream. That'll be coming on at midnight Eastern Standard Time. I always try to stay up long enough to join Anthony. I always have early morning Monday meetings, so it's a struggle, but I at least like to start. I usually fall asleep to you guys. You guys are very soothing when you start chatting about whiskey. Oh, thank you, Richie Z. Thank you so much. Jeff, who needs Apple TV, Hulu, Netflix, etc. with all these live streams? Ain't gonna argue it, because I honestly am watching more YouTube than any of those right now. So, well, thank you guys both. Thank you guys, and cheers, and everybody have a good night.
Sláinte.
Sláinte.